Okay, so Garima, first of all, welcome and congratulations for achieving this feat in your first attempt itself. Okay, so before I start my session with the bombarding questions, okay, my first question will be like, have you ever imagined that it will be in the first attempt itself, or the first attempt will be the last attempt?
So I think it is very overwhelming. This whole process, this journey has been full of, very positivity and stress and everything. But imagining myself getting this rank in the very first attempt was itself a very, very overwhelming for me. It was very, I think it's all because of God's grace. I believe there is some divine soul and everything. So this is what I believe, sir, and I'm very happy. And also, I can see that you are also very happy because you have been my greatest support during this interview preparation and everything.
Okay, so we will be talking about the support system in the end, I guess. Okay, before that, let's begin this session with the questions. Okay, and this question will be like specific to your journey, and you have to answer on the basis of the that journey only. So my first question: how did all you started? Like whether any coaching, self study, what was the first step that you took, and how many years you have already devoted in this examination?
So, sir, I completed my graduation from Hindu College in Delhi University in 2020. Because it was a COVID year, so my graduation extended to somewhere around October or September 2020. So it was in November 2020 that I decided I would start my journey. For that, I took an online coaching. I have prepared myself completely from my home, but all I have been enrolled in online one. So I took Vision IS Foundation course online. So that was a process of 1 year. I was not able to study along with my coaching because it was so hectic for me. I was not able to attend the classes and then have my self study. But this is not what I will recommend to others. This is my thing that worked for me. So after, I think it was in October 2021 that I had my notes compiled, class notes, which I took my base. And after that, I started, and that I remember it was one day in on November 2021 where I said to myself that, okay, Garima, you have to begin now. Even if you are late, let's just begin. So the prelims was on 5th June, and I started completely for the prelims in November 2021.
Okay, so it's like, yes, you did coaching, but with the same time, you ensured while coaching, you did not waste your attempt, rather than you try to consolidate all the knowledge, whatever you were getting from that coaching, and then appear for the attempt. Unlike others, those who think that coaching के साथ साथ attempts दे सकते हैं. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I consciously skipped that 2021 attempt because I
Oh,
did not want to waste it.
okay, fine. So it's like the first thing that I can get from your tactics is like appear in the examination when you are the most confident. Correct?
Extremely very important.
Okay, so since you were selected in your first attempt itself, so
Yes, sir.
how did you minimize your content? I will say uh, notes collection, be it reading a number of books. How did you minimize the same? Because so much of market is flooded with the different notes, different coaching notes. तो उसको जो एक होता है ना अर्ज, यार ये भी कर लूं वो भी कर लूं, मैंने तो ये भी नहीं कहा. How did you control the same?
So this was one thing that I found it with clarity within myself that I will only focus on very limited resources. So that was my mantra, I would say, that follow only limited resources and trust your resources. Because I believe there are a lot of people you are like preparing with, and many people you come across, they tell that I have referred this book. So if you read this book, you will be able to attempt more number of questions. So scenarios come into the journey, but I thought and I sticked to it that I will just follow very limited resources. I had so some people make their own notes by reading books, and some people rely on their class notes, or some people rely on others' printed material. So it is completely everyone's choice. But I personally had those class notes, the running ones, which I attended the classes. These were my basic notes. So I had this strategy where I used to divide my class note register one page into half. So in half, I used to write the running notes. In the half page, I used to keep it blank. And then with subsequent reading of my one standard book or any test series or any model answers, I used to add on to that. So this is whole of my journey. This is what I have done throughout.
So what I can observe or guess that that half blank page has certainly helped you during your mains.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. And whatever standard books I was referring to, so I used to add on that. And when my page used to get filled, I used to add sticky notes. This is how I've done.
Okay, so to come out of this situation, I always suggest aspirants to go for the loose A4 sheets.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is one thing I was not able to follow because I had those classmate registers.
Yeah.
But I would suggest A4 sheets would work great for people.
Okay. So Garima, another question. 1 year, limited resources. Now tell us what were those resources. So people should not question their resources actually, because I know that you should not, because अगर होना है तो वो minimum से हो जाता है. ठीक है.
Yes, sir, definitely.
So what were those resources?
Okay, sir. So for prelims and mains, I did not do कि मैंने पॉलिटी के लिए prelims में लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़नी है और मेंस में कोई और सब्जेक्ट, ऐसा नहीं किया सर मैंने. तो क्लास नोट्स थे, साथ में मैंने पॉलिटी के लिए आई रेफर्ड लक्ष्मीकांत. Along with that, what I used to do in resources के साथ ही साथ I used to study subject wise previous year questions. तो पहले subject wise कर लेती थी. So for this, what I did for polity, I referred Lakshmikant. For modern India history, I referred old NCRT. Somehow I was very much scared because I read Spectrum in my entire life just once and only 300 pages. But I would suggest people to read one of the standard book, either Bipin Chandra Sir's or Spectrum. I personally had read old NCRT. And for ancient and medieval history as well, I have referred old NCRTs. For art and culture, there were my notes. Along with that, some portions of Nitin Singhania sir's book. And also one more book that I would ask everyone to read, that is class 11th, Introduction to Fine Arts, NCRT. For economics, I did not read any specific reference book. I did read 12th Macroeconomics NCRT. And there is one more book, Indian Economic Development. That is basically for post-independence India, along with that, some 5-year plans. And so for environment, the most questionable source that everyone does, I have followed Vision IS value added material, that printed material. A lot of people follow other books as well. So it's important to trust your sources, and everything boils down to the trust of yourself. And for geography, I have referred 11th and 12th NCRTs, those 4 NCRT books. And what all subjects are left, sir, if you can remind me.
Okay, for prelims, I think we are almost done apart from the current affairs. So what was
Yes,
your
sir.
source for the current affairs?
Sir, it was one newspaper, The Hindu. I followed Hindu. Indian Express is equally good. And for monthly magazines, either I used to refer monthly magazine of Vision IS or a PT 365 whenever I was not able to follow particular month's monthly magazine. This was the all source, and whatever test series, prelims test series I used to solve, certain questions of current affairs come up in those as well. So just to get an add-on information, I used to read the solutions very thoroughly. So one of the extra sources were prelims test series के solutions.
Solutions.
So yes, sir, that I used to even revise before
Science and tech
appearing.
का क्या किया?
तो साइंस एंड टेक के लिए मेरे क्लास नोट्स मेरे पास बने हुए थे. उसके अलावा मैंने सिर्फ मैगजीन फॉलो करी है, आइदर PT 365 और मंथली, और वो हिंदू का सर संडे को साइंस एंड टेक का एडिटोरियल्स आते हैं, स्पेशली वो पढ़ती थी सर।
Okay, fine. So another very important question, like everyone says that कि आंसर राइटिंग तो वेरी फर्स्ट डे से स्टार्ट कर दे रहा है. Being in the first attempt, when did you start आंसर राइटिंग and how was the flow, like कब कैसे शुरू किया? मेंस के टाइम पे मतलब कितना प्रिपेयर्ड थी, मतलब जस्ट आफ्टर प्रीलिम्स रिजल्ट की आंसर राइटिंग आ गया ढंग से, डरी हुई है क्या है उस टाइम पे, मतलब माइंड में क्या चल रहा है?
Sir, I'll be very honest here, very honest that I have been here. The first answer I wrote was after prelims, but I would like to give a disclaimer here that worked for me, but I would suggest people to start answer writing even before when you come into complete prelims mode. उससे पहले अगर हम answer writing कर लें तो वो हमारे लिए बाद में stress नहीं लाता है. That had certain stress for me, but I was a literature background student. It might have helped me in the answer writing just to make a flow, but that is something I personally wrote first answer after prelims. I used to follow a proper format, which I will tell you in coming video.
Sure.
So this is how I did.
Now I would like to mention over here, she did not mention, but I was expecting she is a good reader as well. So when
Yes,
you do a good amount of reading, you end up having good articulation skills.
yes,
Okay, so if you have articulation skills, certainly you are going to write good answers. Okay, so if she has not practiced, it doesn't mean she has not even thought about it. Because if
yes,
you are a vivid reader, then it is like she was a very good reader that I got to know when we came into test during interview phase, or say just after the mains, that we will talk about the later. Okay, so Garima, like what I feel, as I know you now from like say 6-7 months, okay, that being a good reader has helped you, but you must
yes.
have had struggled for the speed while answer writing. How did you manage the same during the mains?
So, sir, first I would like to mention that the initial answers I joined SOMP batch. These Telegram channel Hurricanes batch, or these Telegram channels actually help you to cover your speed and content. So while this was a video, on video we used to write answers. So this is how I tried to build the speed, because in the first 2 weeks I used to write 3 answers in an hour. And then in the next 2 weeks, I used to write 5 answers in an hour. And then in the last 2 weeks, I wrote 7 answers in an hour. So eventually, I came down to 7 answers in 1 hour, which is required. So somehow, this small, these platforms, these Telegram channels, somewhere helped me in this way, because I was able to work upon my speed here. And then I wrote test series. And in those test series, for first test, I was not able to complete in 3 hours. But I did not lose hope. The next test which I attempted, I was very sure. I thought I like stick to myself that Garima, you have to just complete it in this 3 hours, or if you are not able to complete, just leave it. And then after those 9, I wrote 10 tests. In just one test, I was not able to complete. In the rest 9 tests, I was able to complete. So this is how, because something that I had though was the flow of answer writing. So I did not have to work on those forcefully flow charts. A lot of people do that कि उनसे फ्लो चार्ट बन नहीं रहा है तो उसमें वो 2 मिनट बैठ के सोच रहे हैं कि फ्लो चार्ट कैसे बनाएं, और उसमें हमारा वो 2 मिनट वेस्ट हो रहा है. So I would suggest that is what we have to practice, the flow of answer writing. A lot of times people say uh, skip the conclusions. So this is something I did not refer to. I made a proper format that I will write introduction, I will write conclusion, I will write body. So this is what I suggest to everyone here. Uh, quality content and knowledge is something we cannot. Everyone has a good knowledge of GS. That is why we have cleared prelims and the mains as well. We are going to write for mains. So people who are attempting the mains or will be in the future, just one thing I would say, see, speed is important, very important to complete the answers. But we should not like for focusing on speed, हमें अपने conclusions miss नहीं करने हैं. Because सर मैंने ऐसा देखा था, lot of times people say कि ठीक है conclusion miss कर दो. So something this is something that I did not personally follow. And one thing I would like to give a disclaimer here to everyone that आप टॉपर स्टॉक देखते हैं सब लोग, प्लीज उनके पॉजिटिव मतलब ब्लाइंडली फॉलो करने से बेटर आप जो आपको लगे कि आपके अंदर वो चीज ऐसा पॉजिटिव हो सकती है तब उसको लीजिए rather than following anybody blindly. So I think I will try to motivate everyone in whatever way I can through this.
So Garima, now again a simple but a tough question. Okay, because you must have again felt during the main so much of market notes.
Yes sir.
अब
Yes sir.
कब कहाँ से क्या करना है? What was your approach there?
So for mains, I was very strict to the syllabus. So this is what a strategy I personally followed. कि मैंने जब मेरा रिजल्ट आया था सर प्रीलिम्स का, उसके बाद मैंने मेंस के सिलेबस को 2 कॉपीज प्रिंट करा ली थी. एंड देन व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू कि सर जितना भी टॉपिक आई यूज्ड टू रीड इन अ डे, आई यूज्ड टू टिक इट बिफोर गोइंग टू बेड. उस टॉपिक को मैंने टिक कर देना था, वो मैंने अपने नोट्स से पढ़ना था या फिर बेसिक बुक से. उसके अलावा आई डिड नॉट रेफर टू एनी अदर बुक because that was something I was very confident on कि I don't want to refer. And plus whenever we join in a test series, और सर मार्केट में आजकल बहुत ऑनलाइन चीजें अवेलेबल हैं, मॉडल आंसर्स मिल जाते हैं. तो टॉपिक वाइज कभी कभी आपके पास जिस टॉपिक पे सफिशिएंट कंटेंट नहीं होता, उनके मॉडल आंसर्स से भी आपको कभी ना कभी कंटेंट मिल जाता है. So this is what I did. I had those mains का syllabus with me. Before going to bed, I used to take it on कि कौन कौन सा टॉपिक आज मैंने पढ़ लिया है. आफ्टर 15-20 डेज मेरे पास वो लिस्ट हो जाती थी कि मैंने इतने टॉपिक्स बचे हैं और इतने टॉपिक्स पढ़ लिए हैं. तो वो उन्हीं क्लास नोट्स, उन्हीं बेसिक बुक्स प्लस मॉडल आंसर्स प्लस प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस को ही मैंने अपना वो कर लिया था, अपना तो कहते हैं भगवान मान लिया था, उन्हीं को करती चली.
Okay, so yeah, complete, please do.
Answer revision, which is the key to this exam. So this is what I did.
Okay, so what I configured it out, like पहले लिमिट करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है हम लोगों के लिए अपने रिसोर्सेज को, सोर्सेज को, so that we do not get sway away with the emotions or the flood of market. पहले ही सोच लिया कि मतलब मेंटलिटी फिट होगी कि हाँ मुझे इतना ही करना है, बाकी आसपास क्या हो रहा है हमें उससे मतलब ही नहीं है. करेक्ट?
Exactly. Yes sir.
Okay, so I will say just let us know your paper wise strategy, like GS1 paper, GS2, GS3, GS4, essay as well, since you have scored good marks in the essay as well. I think essay के लिए मैं again credit आपको नहीं, आपकी reading skills को दूंगा क्योंकि it somehow has helped. Okay, but still just share us the strategy that you followed.
सर ऐसे के लिए तो मैंने सबसे पहले ऐसे से स्टार्ट करते हैं. आई स्कोर्ड 133. सो व्हाट आई डिड फॉर ऐसे, एक तो मैं ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग पे फोकस करती थी, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इनिशियल 25 मिनट्स मैंने अपने एक ऐसे के ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग को दिया है for one essay, and I used to add on every multi-dimensional aspect and example on that one rough page sheet, जितना ज्यादा I can. क्योंकि सर इवेंचुअली क्या होता है, हम 1000 से 1200 वर्ड्स का ऐसे रैंडम नहीं लिख सकते. We have to have a proper points in our mind. So I used to brainstorm in every aspect. At times, there was a strategy that I personally followed was, if one essay I used to write in a GS mode, like multidimensional aspect, social aspect, historical, cultural, linguistic, political, economic, and even the environmental aspect, which is very important. So in the second essay, I used to attempt on a multi-stakeholder approach, like on individual level, on family level, on society level, on national and international level. तो जहां अगर इफ पॉसिबल हो पाता था तो आई यूज्ड टू डू इट इन दिस वे, क्योंकि अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स हम स्टेक होल्डर अप्रोच में नहीं कर पाते कुछ एसेस को. बट इन माय एसे आई डिड इन द फाइनल एसे एज वेल, और टेस्ट सीरीज में मैंने ऐसे ही किया था. तो दिस वाज माय एसे की स्ट्रेटजी. आई फोकस्ड ऑन कंक्लूजन एंड इंट्रोडक्शन. इंट्रोडक्शन में सर मैंने एनेक्डोट्स ही लिखे थे। एंड वन मोर थिंग, मैंने जो ऐसे के टॉपिक चूज किए थे, मेरे को बहुत एग्जाम के बाद बहुत लोगों ने बोला कि आपने ना बहुत डिफरेंट एक्से के टॉपिक्स चूज किए हैं, तो ये आपके लिए बहुत बैकफायर कर सकता है। देन दिस इज समथिंग आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर हियर कि डू नॉट गेट स्वेड अवे बाय दीज टॉक्स। ये दिस हैपन एवरी टाइम यू गिव एग्जाम्स, ये होता है। तो जो आपने करा है बस उस पे विश्वास रखना है। दैट इज द ओनली थिंग आई कीप ऑन सेइंग टू एवरीवन। तो सर ये मेरा एसए का स्ट्रैटेजी था। एंड सर उसके बाद GS1 में हिस्ट्री तो सर वही बेसिक सोर्सेस से पढ़ी थी। प्रॉपर इंट्रोडक्शन होता था 2-3 लाइन्स का, जिसमें 2 स्टेटमेंट्स होते थे। जनरली इन एवरी आंसर आई यूज्ड टू स्टार्ट विद अ डेफिनेशन, जहाँ पर डेफिनेशंस पॉसिबल होती हैं। Along with that, I used to add an example or a data in the introduction itself, जहाँ पर possible हो जाए। अब history में तो हम ये नहीं कर सकते, so I used to start with, for example, if a question comes on revolt of 1857, then I'll start with revolt of 1857 was one of the first independence struggle, which was not a complete independence struggle, but yes, it enlightened us for the future. This was something I used to start with. तो ऐसे आई यूज्ड टू स्टार्ट विद एन इंट्रो एंड देन अ बॉडी। मैं हमेशा पॉइंटर्स में लिखती थी बिकॉज मुझे वो फीजिबल लगता था। और देयर वाज एन ऑर्गेनिक फ्लो चार्ट फ्लो, so I whenever I had to write causes or problems, so I used to make a flow chart for that if wherever possible। ऐसे फोर्स नहीं करती थी अपने आप को कि डालना है फ्लो चार्ट, बट majority of the places I had that flow I used to add, and a conclusion was always in a very positive note or a forward looking approach. This was how I did. For geography, the GS1 paper geography में सर मैंने maps बनाए थे जहाँ जहाँ जरूरत थी। There was India map I made, there was world map I made for ocean currents वाला topic था, उसमें yes I made world maps. So whatever necessary, I had made notes. I had made flowchart. I had made maps. In the GS1 society paper, तो सोसाइटी के लिए मेरे अपने नोट्स तो थे, साथ में मेरा ऑप्शनल सोशियोलॉजी था। ऑल्दो मैं कहूंगी कि वो इतना इंटर रिलेटेड करें या ना करें, कर तो सकते ही हैं, बट सोसाइटी के लिए भी मैंने यही फॉलो किया कि जितने ज्यादा पॉइंट्स में आई वाज एबल टू ऐड एग्जांपल्स आई यूज्ड टू ऐड। So this was a technique I used to follow. I used to write an introduction, then bullet pointer, और उस बुलेट पॉइंट के नीचे एक इन सर्कल करके छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल लिखती थी, उसी के आगे एक एग्जाम्पल ऐड कर देती थी। तो सर अगर 10 मार्क का क्वेश्चन है तो 4 बुलेट पॉइंट्स आई यूज्ड टू राइट। उस 4 बुलेट पॉइंट्स में एटलीस्ट 3 एग्जाम्पल्स आई यूज्ड टू ऐड। अगर 3 नहीं हो पा रहे तो 2 कैन वर्क। दिस वाज अ पर्सनल अप्रोच आई फॉलोड। और उस एग्जाम्पल में जरूरी नहीं है सिर्फ एग्जाम्पल, द एग्जाम्पल इज जस्ट टू सपोर्ट द बुलेट पॉइंट। तो उसमें मैंने डेटा भी ऐड करा है एग्जाम्पल्स में। और GS1 का मेरा ये था। GS2 में पॉलिटी इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस जितने भी
सॉरी,
क्वेश्चंस थे
बीच
सर।
में इंटरवीन करना चाहूंगा। मतलब काफी सारी बार आपने बोला एग्जांपल एग्जांपल, तो एग्जांपल जनरेट कहाँ से करते थे?
सर एग्जाम्पल के लिए बेसिक बुक, जो भी डेटा अगर कुछ भी एग्जाम्पल अलोंग विद दैट सर मॉडल आंसर्स, जो भी मैं टेस्ट लिखती थी उसके मॉडल आंसर्स में एग्जाम्पल्स होते ही थे, तो वो मैंने लिखे। उसके बाद सर जो PD 360 मेन 365 जो मैं पढ़ती थी उसमें भी कितनी बार एग्जाम्पल्स होते थे या कोई भी चीज न्यूज में होती थी, तो जो रेलिवेंट था उस टॉपिक से उसको ऐड कर दिया। फॉर एग्जाम्पल कुछ भी इंटरनेशनल स्फेयर से रिलेटेड आया, आई रिमेम्बर देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन इन कि इंडिया ने ब्रीफली डिस्कस, इंडिया हैज टेकन व्हाट ऑल इनिशिएटिव्स इन क्लाइमेट चेंज, तो आई लिंक्ड इट विद लाइफ कैंपेन, COP27, सारे ऐसे किए थे सर। सर न्यूज़पेपर के नोट्स मैं बना नहीं पाती थी, मुझसे फिजिबल नहीं होता था, तो एग्जाम्पल्स का यही था। अलोंग विद दैट डेटा के लिए मैंने एक डेटा शीट तैयार कर रखी थी, तो वो काम आती थी।
देन कंटिन्यू विद द GS2।
फिर GS2 के लिए भी यही अप्रोच थी सर, इंट्रोडक्शन, बॉडी, कंक्लूजन लिखना, बेसिक बुक्स पढ़ना। और जैसे GS2 के गवर्नेंस का जो टॉपिक है, अगर हम देखें तो गवर्नेंस पे चीजें कुछ कुछ रिपीटेटिव होती हैं, जैसे RTI एक्ट हो गया, गवर्नेंस हो गया, गवर्नेंस हो गया। तो इस पे कभी कभी अगर खुद से कंटेंट नहीं हो पाता था तो मैंने MGP टेस्ट सीरीज फोरम आई से ली थी, तो उनके सर मॉडल आंसर्स मैंने रेफर कर लिए थे कहीं कहीं, कि उनपे वो मुझे 250 वर्ड का फॉर्मेट मिल गया था, जहां मेरा वो कंटेंट कम हो रहा था। तो और मार्केट में भी बहुत सारे अवेलेबल हैं, उनसे मैंने रेफर करके वहां पर एग्जांपल्स, और जिसे आरटीआई के ऊपर जो भी मुझे शॉर्टकमिंग्स थी वो मैंने वहीं से ऐड कर ली थी। In every conclusion, I followed a positive approach. Either I ended with a commission's recommendation. For example, Sarkariya Commission, Vijay Kelkar Committee recommendation. These were the things. And wherever these were not recommendations were not available, I used to do like to follow India, to reach India's achievement on, or to follow to achieve the target of net zero 2070. तो उस तरह से ऐड कर दिया, और to reach the target, for example in ethics, कि to reach the target of सबका साथ सबका विकास सबका विश्वास, तो उससे एंड कर दिया। So this is how I used to do.
Okay, fine.
Yes sir. So सब
Continue.
में ही ऑलमोस्ट मेरी यही स्ट्रैटेजी थी सर।
ठीक है, तो रिसोर्सेज क्या रहे GS3 के स्पेसिफिकली, क्योंकि GS3 को बिकॉज़ यू हैव स्कोर्ड आई गेस गुड मार्क्स व्हेन कंपेयर्ड टू द रीसेंट
सर
ट्रेंड्स।
जीएस3 में मेरे कम ही आए हैं वैसे, 73 मार्क्स आए हैं।
अच्छा, ये कम था, सॉरी सॉरी, किसी और का याद है फिर मुझे। ओके देन
बट हाँ जीएस3 में वही था सर नॉर्मल जो मेरे रिसोर्सेज थे।
जस्ट मेंशन द रिसोर्सेज आई विल से।
Okay. So for economics, there was mains 365, current affairs, and my class notes. There was 12th की एनसीईआरटी मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स, वो प्रीलिम्स की है, बट मैंने उसको मेंस के लिए भी रेफर किया था बिकॉज आई वाज एबल टू आर्टिकुलेट बेटर, तो वो चीज मेरे लिए हेल्प करती थी। फॉर इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी अलोंग द नोट्स एंड द मेन 365, और इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी में क्वेश्चंस बहुत रिपीट होते हैं, तो उसमें अगर आप किसी के भी मॉडल आंसर्स रेफर करेंगे तो वो भी आपके लिए हेल्पफुल हो सकते हैं, जो भी एस्पिरेंट्स प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं। और सिर्फ इन्वायरमेंट के लिए along with that I followed this Vision IS monthly, वो sorry, mains 365, along with that Vision IS graded material, and यही था सर, ये 3 efforts।
ओके, एंड फॉर एथिक्स?
सर एथिक्स के लिए खुद वही नोट्स, एंड मेरे को टेलीग्राम चैनल्स के थ्रू और गूगल के थ्रू हर टॉपिक वाइज एग्जांपल्स कलेक्ट किए थे सर मैंने। For example, whatever topics are mentioned in syllabus of ethics, for example, persistence, perseverance, hard work, public versus private life, integrity, honesty, इन सब से रिलेटेड सर मैंने 5 या 4 एग्जाम्पल्स लिख लिए थे, प्रॉपर A4 शीट बना ली थी। सो उनको मैंने ऐसे अटेम्प्ट किया था कि एथिक्स के आंसर्स मल्टी डायमेंशनल करे थे, कभी सोशल लेवल पे ये, इकोनॉमिक लेवल पे ये, और कभी कभी उनको मैंने जीएस से भी लिंक करा हुआ है। जैसे कि लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स पॉलिटी के लिए हमने गवर्नेंस से लिंक कर दिया एथिक्स के आंसर, बिकॉज गवर्नेंस से लिंक हो सकते हैं, आरटीआई से लिंक हो सकते हैं, तो ऐसे सर मैंने एग्जांपल्स कलेक्ट किए हैं।
ओके, सो अभी तक like what I can comprehend or to explain the same in the nutshell, like you did not question your intuitions and specifically you remained on the sources जो limited थे, कि मतलब उससे बाहर जाने का फायदा भी नहीं था, कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट होता और उस टाइम में उतना ही हो सकता था।
यस सर।
Fine. So now moving to the mindset. Okay, since I need to talk with you because being in first attempt एक different mindset चाहिए होता है. But I will start with the mindset that you had since you started preparation way back in 2020, but appeared for the examination in 2020. Okay, so 1 year I know that कि coaching चल रहा है तो classes वगैरह में इधर उधर time pass हो रहा है. But once the coaching ends, say after 8-9 months, okay, and the time period till prelims, how did you manage? कि यार अटेम्प्ट भी नहीं दिया है, तैयारी भी नहीं है, मतलब एक वो फ्रस्ट्रेशन वाला फेज भी तो आ सकता था ना, कि समहाउ की पढ़ तो रही थी, पता नहीं क्यों अटेम्प्ट मिस कर दिया है मैंने, दे देना चाहिए था, या हाउ टू सस्टेन कि हाँ अगला अटेम्प्ट देना बढ़िया देना, मतलब वो जो था ना, मतलब कोचिंग क्लास के साथ डिसिप्लिन आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि इट इज देयर. How did you manage the discipline post your coaching and before the prelims?
सर वही एक तो 2020 दिसंबर से कोचिंग स्टार्ट हुई थी और नवंबर में खत्म हुई थी, तो उस 1 साल को तो आई जस्ट काउंट फॉर कलेक्टिंग माय नोट्स, को मैंने सेल्फ स्टडी स्टार्ट ही नहीं की। तो सर वो नवंबर से मई तक का मेरा जर्नी था, नवंबर दिसंबर, सो 7 मंथ्स। वो देखिए सर, उस टाइम पे स्ट्रेस भी होता था कि एक अटेम्प्ट तो मिस कर दिया, बट उस समय आई हैड माई फैमिली विथ मी, माई बिगेस्ट सपोर्ट। आई कीप ऑन टेलिंग यू एज वेल कि माई फैमिली हैज बीन अ बिगेस्ट सपोर्ट। फिर जब मेरा सिलेबस ही पूरा नहीं हुआ था, तो मैंने अपना पेपर अटेम्प्ट करना उसको जरूरी समझा ही नहीं, बिकॉज देर इज अ लिमिटेशन ऑफ अटेम्प्ट्स। So I did not read that in any case. I did not give it a second thought as well, क्योंकि उस समय मुझे याद है सर, कोविड की वजह से प्रीलिम्स एक्सटेंड हुआ था, अक्टूबर में हो गया था व्हेन आई स्किप दैट इन। तो स्टिल आई वाज, माय फादर यूज्ड टू टेल कि गरिमा अगर देना है तो दे दो, बट आई वाज वेरी श्योर कि नहीं देना। सर वो श्योरिटी ना हमें क्लैरिटी ऑफ माइंड से आती है। तो दैट इज व्हाट आई थिंक कि हमें वो क्लैरिटी होना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, कि हम विद ये जर्नी हमें मेच्योरिटी के साथ एक इम्पॉर्टेंट, मेच्योरिटी इज ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट, कि आप किस स्टेट में आप वो पेपर अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं। हम सोचते हैं कि हम 12th के बाद प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट कर दें फर्स्ट ईयर से, और थर्ड ईयर के बाद पेपर देना है। सर उस 3 साल के बीच जो हमें पर्सनालिटी डेवलप करनी है, जो हमें एक मेच्योरिटी लेवल चाहिए उस पेपर को अटेम्प्ट करने का, वो तो हम स्किप ही कर देते हैं। So that was something I made very clear with myself. कि once I'll be able to read and revise my subject at least 3 or 4 or 5 times, then only I'll appear for the exam. So sir, उस 7 months पे I focused on my concepts. I attempted test series, घर पे ही बैठ के 2-2 घंटे देती थी, अटेम्प्ट करती थी। तो सर उस मई में ऐसा लग रहा था, होगा नहीं होगा वो तो दूर की बात, वो हम सोचेंगे नहीं, बट अपना बेस्ट देना है। तो वो अपना बेस्ट देने के लिए वो क्लैरिटी चाहिए कि आपको कब वो पेपर लिखना है, और कब आप उस लेवल तक के प्रिपेयर्ड हैं कि आप उस लेवल पे आके आप पेपर अटेम्प्ट कर सकते
Okay, so one important question again, sociology.
हैं। यस सर।
First attempt, good marks in sociology. Okay, and what was the strategy for the sociology? Coachings that you referred, books that you followed.
Sir, for sociology, I did not join any coaching. I did not join any test series. तो सर सोशियोलॉजी के लिए मैंने पेपर 1 अपने कंप्लीट प्रीलिम्स मोड से थोड़ा पहले स्टार्ट किया था, अराउंड दिसंबर जनवरी। उसमें पेपर 1 में मैंने कोई नोट्स नहीं रेफर करे, कुछ नहीं किया। आई आई स्टार्टेड विद नितिन सांगवान सर्स बुक एसेंशियल्स ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी। तो सर उसमें क्या हुआ, उसमें भी मैंने यही अप्रोच फॉलो करी कि एक बार टॉप सिलेबस प्रिंट किया और टॉपिक वाइज स्टार्ट कर दिया। तो सर वो मैंने क्या किया था कि जो जो चीजें मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही थी बुक्स से, मैंने उनके लिए गूगल या यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस से रेफर किया। उस टाइम पे मैंने अपने ऑप्शनल को इतना सीरियस ले ही नहीं पाई, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे मुझे प्रीलिम्स पे फोकस करना था। बट सर ये था कि पेपर 1 के थिंकर्स और थोड़ा बहुत एक्सटेंडेड पार्ट जैसे सोशल स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन और मैरिज, ये मैंने रीड कर लिया था। जस्ट रीड, उसका मुझे एक वर्ड भी याद नहीं था, बस रख लिया था अपने ही नोट्स। और वो नोट्स ऐसे नहीं थे कि मैं कुछ पढ़ पाऊं उनको दोबारा, वो सिर्फ बुक सेकंड बुक ही थी काइंड ऑफ। तो सर एक्चुअल प्रिपरेशन मैंने प्रीलिम्स के बाद स्टार्ट किया अपने ऑप्शनल की। तो प्रीलिम्स के जस्ट बाद मैंने डायरेक्ट पेपर 2 रीड किया है नितिन सांगवान सर की एसेंशियल ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी बुक से ही, क्योंकि उसमें टॉपिक वाइज एक एक पेज कवर्ड है। तो वो मैंने टॉपिक वाइज पढ़ा, आई जस्ट रेड, आई डिड नॉट मेक एनी नोट्स दिस टाइम। आई रेड for the first time. It took a longer time. Then I read it for second time. It took little less time. Then I read it for third time. This was after my prelims only. उस 1-1.5 months में I kept on reading that. And since you have mentioned कि I have that reading thing within me, so what I did, I just read my paper 2 3 times from Sangman sir's book. And then I again switched back to paper 1, sociology only. It was all after prelims. Then I again worked on my paper 1 subject. I tried to make certain bullet points for myself, जिससे मुझे, because paper 1 it's repetitive. So if you are able to understand the concepts once and the thinkers, then you'll be able to get the knowledge of that concept. And then what you are left with is to art of answer writing and second adding thinkers. So this is what I kept for later. Then I started making notes pay for paper too for myself. That was after my prelims result, obviously. Then I made it on A4 sheet. I started it. I took it topic wise. So topic wise, I made it. And then when I had those notes, what I did, I bought certain old mains test series from market. Courier से मंगवा ली थी सर मैंने. And then I started adding extra thinkers on my notes from wherever topics possible. And there was one, I am not able to remember exactly. There was certain Google पे कुछ आप topics type करेंगे तो you will get a proper answer for that. So what I used to do, I used to take on the thinkers from that topic. So I made up collective thinkers notes on a particular A4 sheets for every topic. This is how I prepared for my paper 1 and paper 2. एक्स्ट्रा जो भी कोचिंग का मटेरियल था, नॉट कोचिंग का मटेरियल, टेस्ट सीरीज वो मंगवाई, खुद से की, यूट्यूब लेक्चर्स देखे, गूगल देखा, नितिन सांगवान सर की बुक देखी. And then after that I took one telegram I was associated with one telegram channel that was socio mentor karke name. From there in July end, for the 1 month of August, unka मैं sir, I used to write answers and give to the mentor, and she used to check it and give it to me back. So that is what I followed for sociology answer writing. One more thing I followed for answer writing was wherever I was not able to add thinkers, I used to attempt my answers in a perspective manner. For example, from functionalist perspective, according to Marxist perspective, according to feminist perspective, according to postmodernist perspective. So this made my answer look more sociological. This is how I approach sociology. This was also.
Okay. I'll say it was a very detailed, and those who are watching it now, it would have helped them in. They cannot guess in what manner, because being a similar optional background like public administration, so I was able to relate my professional days. So somehow I was used to follow the similar strategy, especially the last thing that you mentioned, that perspectives. Okay, I used to call it school of thoughts.
Yes, sir. That,
okay. Yeah. So yeah, now coming to the mindset game again. Since prelims to mains, what I found you like you were concrete. ये करना है. What happened after mains? Like why so much issue था? मतलब मुझे परेशान करना था बस.
Sir, I remember मेरा mains हुआ. And then I was
let
very
me frame question so that they can get the context, और वरना ये हम दोनों के बीच में रह जाएगा. Like what I want to say, there is a time when we are done with the examination and the results are about to be there. Okay, why we start questioning ourselves even if we have given our 100%. Okay, then how you ensure that post your mains results, okay, how to get back that confidence, because in the tactics talks what I confirmed, you had the confidence throughout, but the moment when you start thinking of results means you are kind of deviating from the karma theory. Okay, and you are little or bit disturbed, I will say. Okay, or disturbed, when I say it means a kind of expectation with the results, it hurts and it brings our efficiency down. That's what I meant when I said disturb, because in a finite life, what is not disturbance, that you keep studying and all. Okay, so why such kind of attitude develops according to you? Because you were in that mode.
So one thing, because I was, since it was my first attempt, a lot of people who were in the like community itself, some people were comparing that they had this year's mains better or this year's mains lower. So I was not able to get a proper analysis that how my mains went. And one thing I would like to share here is whenever I got out of that school after attempting my exam, I was just blank, as in कि मैं कभी मुड़ के नहीं देखती थी कि मेरा एग्जाम कैसा हुआ. And that is what my father used to pinpoint as my strength, that you do not look back once you come out from the exam hall. So I used to come out with a happy face, and they never asked me how your paper went, and I never told them how my paper went. So this was whole analysis. So after giving my means, I was not able to analyze how how like how this has happened and how my means went, but I was sure that I called you, I remember, and I told you that I completed all my answers in all the papers. That was one thing I had this target in my mind. Whatever happens, I will not leave even a single question, because that was just my target within my own mindset. कि Garima, you don't have to leave any question. तो लेकिन उस बीच में आई रियलाइज सर मैं बिना वजह परेशान रहती थी, क्योंकि अगर मैं अपने मार्क्स देखूं तो कट ऑफ से बहुत ज्यादा आए हैं मेरे मार्क्स मेंस में. ऐसा कोई स्कोप नहीं था कि मैंने जस्ट कट ऑफ से क्लियर किया. So it means when I was questioning my knowledge part, that being a first attempter, I might lack certain knowledge. It wasn't the issue with me. वो issue नहीं था मेरे साथ. So that is where my self-doubt began. But that is what I wanted to talk, कि अपने ऊपर self-doubt करना is a very bad thing. और सर उस वजह से आई थिंक अगर मेरे इंटरव्यू में 180 मार्क्स आए हैं ना, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो डर की वजह से आए हैं, जो मैं डर गई थी इंटरव्यू से. तो शायद आई माइट हैव स्कोर्ड बेटर, बट वो 180 मार्क्स जो आए वो मे बी इसलिए आए हो कि मैं डर गई. ऑल्दो मैं डरी नहीं, इट वाज अ वेरी गुड स्कोर, बट जस्ट सेइंग कि वो एक डर गई थी मैं. एंड दैट वाज द फर्स्ट स्टेज वेयर आई वाज एक्चुअली स्कैर्ड. सर मेरे को पूरा प्रीलिम्स के बाद मेंस का सिलेबस पढ़ना था. पहला आंसर मैंने उस टाइम लिखा, ऑप्शनल का आंसर पहली बार लिखा, ऑप्शनल प्रिपेयर किया. आई वाज नॉट स्कैर्ड. स्ट्रेसफुल होना, स्कैर्ड होना इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. आई यूज्ड टू गेट स्ट्रेस्ड, इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ एन एस्पिरेंट्स लाइफ. So, but I was not scared of it. So this is one thing I would suggest कि अपने ऊपर सेल्फ डाउट मत करिए, क्योंकि सर मेरे साथ थे, सर तो मुझे हेल्प करते ही थे पूरे टाइम. And I remember when Sir and I used to have a conversation or a video meeting on mock, I used to you come into a question and answer mode. So, एक video में I remember you specifically mentioned how was it, and I told no, it was. I think I did not perform good. And that day you said कि Garima, this is not how the approach you are going to work on. And that day I changed my attitude, that if I have been very positive throughout the mains, I do not have to worry on the last step. The positive mindset is very important.
Okay. So this is usually last question that I put up. Okay, no need to take my name and all over here. Okay, but I just want, this is a question to everyone, since the market is flooded with the mentors these days. Okay.
Yes.
What is the role of mentorship basically, and how to identify a good mentor? How can you say that a mentor is a good?
Sir, I feel mentorship comes, with a lot of analysis, and a person who is a mentor has a good uh, experience, and he should be a person who should be able to analyze your strength as well as your weakness, because a mentor has to improve your strength as well, not only just work upon weakness, it has to improve on the strengths. So I feel it's important to identify a right mentor by communicating, by proper interaction, by proper, one-on-one analysis or a group meetings, where you can analyze that somewhere a mentor is able to personally connect with you. So since you have been my mentor during my entire post-mains journey, when I was scared, when I was not prepared for interview, when I became prepared for interview, the whole journey is seen. So I think a mentor knows you very well, from your strength to your weakness to your, like, the most best things where you will be able to achieve. And a mentor has a belief in you. And you
Oh,
should also have a belief in your mentor. It is important.
yeah. that is what I say, that this communication between mentor and mentee is not a one-way highway.
Yes, sir.
Rather, it's a two-way narrow road where you have to
Yes, sir.
interact again, and again. Okay,
Yes, sir.
with this, I conclude my part of this tactics talks. We will be taking, I guess, we have 12 minutes because I keep session for 1 hour only, because uh, then I open the stage for the participants. Just raise your hands or type your questions in your chat box. Okay. Those who want to directly speak to Garima can raise their hand and unmute themselves and ask the question. Else, I will just take up some of the questions which has been in the chat box again and again. Okay. So one person is asking again and again, in how many months GS should be completed?
Sir, I believe it's important to focus on quality and not quantity. It's not important कि आप कितने महीनों में या कितने साल में आपको जीएस कंप्लीट कर रहे हैं. It's important आप उस सिलेबस को कितनी क्वालिटेटिवली अटेम्प्ट कर रहे हैं और कितनी क्वालिटेटिवली पढ़ रहे हैं. अगर आप पूरा क्या कहते हैं, आप पूरा syllabus, if you are taking a look at your syllabus, the main syllabus, the GS syllabus is a very detailed one. If you look at that, and if you think you're able to complete it in 6 months, it's completely fine. Nobody asks you and nobody wants you to work for, read your GS for 2 years. It's important. You should have your trust that you should analyze that now your GS syllabus is completed. This is what I have believed.
Okay, so Khushi is asking name of the Telegram channels that has helped you.
Sir, one is yours channel, definitely. Utkarsh sir's channel. And second is SOMP channel I have been associated with for Hurricane batch and interview batch. And third is the Socio Mentor channel. So I am just wanted to share कि Socio Mentor करके the link of the channel is uploaded on my Telegram channel. तो उनका वो वहां पर जाके if people can check out, because मुझे उनका user ID exactly पता नहीं है.
Okay. So next question, again a good question from the Krishna. How to memorize thinker of every topic in sociology?
See, you do not have to memorize the thinkers. If you look at the syllabus, there are 6 thinkers for paper 1 and some 4-5 thinkers for paper 2. But the point comes to topic-wise thinkers. So आप जब एक बार thinkers पढ़ेंगे, तो you'll get accustomed to their school of thoughts. If you are reading a functionalist thinker, you'll get accustomed to the school of thought that what is that thinker trying to say. Just see, revision is the key to this exam. You cannot memorize any thinker just once. You have to read it at least 5 times, 6 times, and then you have to attempt the exam. And what I'll suggest is make make A4 sheets for that, a consolidated very small points, or make just one topic. For example, you're referring to social stratification topic. Then just list on the thinkers, whatever you are able to have mark on that paper. आपने सांगवान सर की बुक से देख लिया या आपने अपने कोई रेफरेंस मटेरियल से देख लिया, उन थिंकर्स के नेम ऐड कर दो ताकि आपको एंड में वो याद रहे एंड तक कि दीज आर द थिंकर्स एसोसिएटेड विद दिस टॉपिक. तो ऐसे ही आपको मेमोराइज होगा क्योंकि वो तो आपको बार बार पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा इन एनी केस.
Okay, so another question that we missed it out and someone asked thankfully, how did you manage your CSAT? Because even the last year paper was not that easy.
Yes, sir. It was equally tough. So for CSAT, what I used to do is I used to allot 1 hour 10 minutes for maths and reasoning. So sir, उस 1 hour 10 minutes में जितना भी I was able to cover my reasoning and maths part, I used to cover. And then for the next 50 minutes, I used to cover my English, because somewhere and other thing, I was little more confident on English. But you always have a dicey and a confusing options in English. So you cannot just take a chance on English and attempt only the English portion. You will have to attempt maths and reasoning as well. If some people have their strength in maths and reasoning, then majority of the questions should be attempted from maths. So you, after analyzing the previous year questions, I have done like some 5-6 years previous year question before my paper. So I used to get a overview on my strength that I was able to cover English nicely, and some 15, 17 questions of maths and reasoning. So this came cumulative to 54, 55 questions. तो अगर इसमें से कुछ गलत भी हुए तो I was able to score. So this is what you have to analyze with the previous year questions.
Okay, one more
But do
thing.
not ignore CSET. It is
Yeah.
very important these days.
One more thing I would like to emphasize again, because I used to emphasize again and again with Garima as well. यार रीडिंग स्किल्स बहुत अच्छी है इसकी, मतलब शी यूज्ड टू रीड अ लॉट, तो कंप्रिहेंशन में दैट इज गोइंग टू हेल्प इवन इफ शी डज नॉट मेंशंस द सेम क्लियरली, बट मार्क माय वर्ड्स, वो चीज हेल्प कर रही है एसए में, क्योंकि यू हैव काइंड ऑफ इनग्रेन्ड इन योर वीन्स. ओके, मतलब वो रगों में दौड़ रहा है वो रीडिंग की वजह से, ठीक है, तो वो हेल्प करेगा somehow. Okay, so one last question that I will take, Garima, since it is being asked, how to generate confidence. Okay,
So a lot. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sorry, sir.
let me complete just. It's been like a whole journey. You have been confident. You mentioned your family support, you mentioned the role of mentor post mains. Okay, but I think no one can help you unless or until you help yourself. ओके, भगवान भी उसकी मदद करता है जो अपनी मदद खुद करेगा, ठीक है. तो आई वांट you to answer this question from your own perspective rather than giving credit to anyone, not family, not me, not circumstances. I want Garima ki उसने कैसे हैंडल किया so that people can relate better.
सर मैंने इस चीज से रिलेट किया कि मैंने एक थॉट प्रोसेस अपने अंदर पहले से रखा हुआ था. आई डोंट नो इफ इट्स अ गुड थॉट प्रोसेस और अ बैड. Just one thing I used to talk to my father about it always, that मुझे अपना फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट लास्ट अटेम्प्ट बनाना है. अब देखिए सर, वो तो बने या ना बने वो फ्यूचर पे डिपेंड करता है, बट माइंडसेट वो होना इज इम्पोर्टेंट. और मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि सर कॉन्फिडेंस, a lot of times your confidence comes very down if you attempt less marks in mocks. It happened with me a lot of times. But that is something you have to gain within you कि आप जैसा करेंगे अपना बेस्ट करेंगे. तो अपना mindset is something important. I think after getting up from that seat on the day of exam, खत्म करने के बाद whenever I used to get up from that seat, I had this mindset कि I gave my best.
एक मिनट, don't intervene. Yeah, continue.
So when I used to get up, I was very sure that I gave my best. And everyone has to learn throughout the journey, through the mocks, through the previous year questions. We have to learn. We don't have to worry on that if we are getting less marks. आपको उन सब से सीख के उस एक दिन अपना बेस्ट परफॉर्म करना है. और उस बेस्ट परफॉर्म करने के लिए वो थ्रू आउट कॉन्फिडेंस होना इज इम्पोर्टेंट. वो कॉन्फिडेंस कैसे आएगा कि आप अपने फ्रेंड्स, फैमिली, मेंटर्स बात करिए ताकि, और अपने आप को पॉजिटिव पीपल के अराउंड रखिए. इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट. तो दिस इज हाउ आई वर्क फॉर कॉन्फिडेंस. दिस इज समथिंग आई थॉट दैट whenever I used to get up from that seat, I used to think I gave my best. होगा नहीं होगा is a very different thing. It's important ना, सिर्फ कर्म करिए और फल की चिंता मत करिए. That is something I had that in mind.
Okay. So two questions are there, like yeah, but like she first completed her classes and she has already explained the same in the session. I think you have joined late. She first completed the classes, then did self study, then appeared for the attempt. It was not like that all together सब कुछ साथ में चला. Second question, she did not come to Delhi. Okay, she prepared from her home. So yeah, I guess both of the questions has been answered now. So yeah, with this, Garima, I would like to thank you for coming here and giving, I will say, pinpointed strategies and letting them know कि minimum content के साथ अपना चलिए, revision अच्छा होना चाहिए, articulation skills होने चाहिए, and you are good as equal to a person who is in the say 3 or 4 in number of attempts, because the rank that you got it is no less. You will be getting IAS as well. Okay, so it's all possible. Thank you so much. Any parting words that you want to say to all of them?
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me here. I really hope that I had been able to motivate maximum of people here. I would like to thank you for being a support in my journey. And one thing I would like to give a message to everyone is have faith in yourself, have faith in this journey, and have faith in God as well. Because all of this cumulative energy will bring you the confidence at that level. And along with that, be confident throughout. Follow limited resources. Idhar udhar mat bhagiye, please. Or trust yourself. Trust yourself. It will help you. Talk to your family. Talk to your friends. Talk to your mentors if you feel low. It's important. Work on yourself. Focus on your personality development. And my bestest wishes to all the aspirants. May you achieve everything you want. And good luck.
Okay, with this, I conclude the meeting. And since you all have so many questions, I will just share the Telegram link of Garima's channel. And she is active over there as well. She keeps sharing her essay, brainstormings, notes, and all. So she will keep guiding the community. Yes, of course, till the time she becomes busy in Labasna with her FC and training days. Okay. So with this, thank you again. So I conclude the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.